Greetings, friend. How are you doing today? I have a couple questions for you. First question, do you consider yourself adventurous? Second question, do you have any plan this week or perhaps even today that you end up having to change? And third question, have you ever done this? I don't know if you can tell because from the photo because the wind distorted my face, but this was me doing skydiving a few years back, a few years back. I've done a few since then, but this was me doing skydiving back in the day. And have you ever done skydiving? And this week, you and I are sharing about how you can easily and quickly bring into life what it is that's still calling you to do. And that might be doing skydiving, regardless of your age. I have a client who was in his late 70s who wanted to do skydiving. And then perhaps it's creating something. Perhaps it is changing your occupations or where you live or something. But what is it that's still calling you? And yes, you can accomplish them. In many cases, you might be able to accomplish them with a lot of effort and strife, but it wouldn't be so much better if you accomplish it with a lot more ease and quickly, faster, and with a lot more fun. And the third key on being able to do that is to have a good sense of adventure. Maybe this much, maybe not necessarily, but have a good sense of adventure and flexibility. And actually, part of being adventure is being flexible. If you ever done skydiving, they always tell you when you make the reservations to do skydiving, they tell you, okay, we'll book you for these days and this time. But you know what? If the wind doesn't allow, if the weather doesn't allow, if the plane doesn't allow, whatever something doesn't allow, then they will cancel. They will reschedule because, well, sometimes we just need to be a lot more flexible. And there were times when we got there and they're like, well, it's been great all morning, but that suddenly got super windy and all this kind of thing. And got to change at the last minute. Change directions, come back different day, and so on and so forth. And why is it important for you to have sense of adventure as well as to be able to be flexible? Yesterday, we shared about being able to have organized plan. Yes, you want to have organized plan. The thing with a lot of people is you have plan, and then if things don't work out exactly the way you planned it, if you ever have things don't work out exactly the way you planned it, then many people got stressed out. Many people got stressed out and many people got nervous. And then also many people have a plan. If you have a plan, you might see it happening awesomely as we share the couple days back in your mind. And then you create a plan and then you got stressed out about, oh, well, these things might not be going this way and this thing might not be going this way. But what about if this is not going that way? And what about this? Have you ever had this what about in your mind? And so when you are adventurous, you can see life and all the little nuances as an adventure. And yes, you can be adventurous in the form of skydiving like this, but not everybody's particularly care about skydiving. I have a client whose dream is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I believe it's Mount Kilimanjaro or something. And I said, awesome for you. I will never even dream about climbing Mount Kilimanjaro as my adventure. I'd rather jump off from an airplane or something in that aspect. And so everybody has different level of adventure, but having a certain level of adventure will allow you to embrace the daily little thing as just part of life, part of the changes in life, the here and there, the nuances, the up and down. Almost like when you look at the ocean. If you look at the ocean, or even you look at the wind goes up and down, and the ocean waves ups and down, and that is just all the nuances of life. And it's also called for you to be flexible. Sometimes you create a plan. You perhaps create a plan. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to to go to this place and work at this place or study at this place this number of years, and then this and this and that, and then some things happen. The most recent thing, for instance, something such as the coronavirus pandemic. Who's gonna expect that? And yes, it is very normal. It is very normal to be stressed out and to be nervous, to be discouraged, and all these things. And at the same time, if you're adventurous and you have flexibility, you say, well, okay, apparently plan one doesn't work. And then how can I see this as an adventure, as an opportunity to discover something else? And perhaps it is not something external out of from this world, but it is something in your life that takes place. Then what is it that you might be able to adapt and adjust? And why is it important for you to be able to adapt and adjust quickly? And when you are adventurous and when you are flexible, you'll be able to much sooner lessen your stress, and not a lot letting yourself get discouraged. And it's actually important because we know that everything is a vibration, and that universe move at certain level of vibration. And so if you are moving at the level of the vibrations of the universe, things will flow a whole lot easier than if you are, for instance, being stressed out. This is the vibrational chart here from Dr. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm gonna pull this down. Pull this down. Pull this down. Greetings, friend. How are you doing today? I have a few questions for you today. First questions. Do you consider yourself adventurous? Second question, is there any plan in your life this week that you have to adapt because one or another thing happened? Third question, have you ever done something like this? This is skydiving, and I don't know if you can tell because the wind distorted our face, but this was me doing tandem skydiving quite a few years back, but it was actually really a fun adventure. And this week, you and I are sharing on few tips, the key tips on how you will be able to easily, with a lot more ease and faster, a lot more speed, bring into your life what is it that you still would love to do? What is it that you dream of? What is it that's still calling your heart? And that could be going on skydiving. It could be creating something such as a painting or learning to paint or write a book, or perhaps it could be moving where you live, moving your career or something like that. And the next key that is important, we share about see it happen awesomely, as well as having good plan, having organized plan. And in addition to having organized plan, it's very important actually for you to have it happen easily, to be adventurous. And why is it that you want to be adventurous? When you are adventurous, two things. First of all, when things happen, you are much more likely to embrace it as some form of strange adventure, even if it is things that you prefer is not happening. Because when you adventure, sometimes things just happen. And then when you are adventurous, when you are adventurous, you also be able to be a lot more flexible. Just like if you ever gone on skydiving, whenever you make reservations for skydiving, they say, okay, we'll take your reservations. We have it in the book. And just so you know, of course, because it's skydiving, if the wind's not the right wind, if the weather is not quite right, if the plane not quite right, or what have you it is, then you're gonna get rescheduled. And so it requires flexibility. And when you are adventurous and you are endeavoring to accomplish something in your life, you will be able to do it with a lot more ease. Now, even if you don't practice all this, many times you might still accomplish what it is, but a lot of time with a lot more strife, with a lot more energy and emotional expenditure, and many times might even take longer. Why is it being adventurous? How is it that you are adventurous help you? Well, when you are adventurous, first of all, we talk about you being flexible. So when something happened, you're less likely to get stressed out. You might just say, okay, well, I'm flexible. I have this all these things planned, but say something is happening, then instead of getting completely stressed out or completely discouraged and completely depressed or something, you might say, okay, well, anyone with an adventurous sense tend to say, okay, I'm going to adapt to this and see how I can adapt through this and change through this and see it as an adventure of life, because life is truly full of adventure. And we know that everything is energy and everything is vibration, and that the universe vibrate at certain level. The universe actually vibrate at the vibration of ease, and the universe vibrate at the vibration of joy. And when you are adventurous and you allow your plan to be flexible, say you have plan on working or going to study here for this number of time, number of months, and then next, and then something happened. Perhaps it is something like the coronavirus that's been going on. Perhaps it is something internal in you. Then you simply say, okay, you know what? I'm going to adjust instead of I'm going to get depressed, I'm going to get stressed, I'm going to get discouraged, I'm going to just give up. And when you are able to adjust and when you are able to continue to keep your vibration up, then you naturally be able to move along with where the universe is moving, and that will allow you to continue to bring into your life what it is that you would love. Even as you adjust, let's say you needed help and support, then you will be more likely to bring into your life what is it that you would be able, that what is it that you would need, versus if you are completely closed down and say, oh my God, this is just the end of it. I'm just not meant to be doing this. Oh, this is just not working out. If your mind is already say this is not working out, instead of, okay, this is, I guess, is a life adventure. Life is a little bit like the tide in the oceans, goes up and down. Then you are much more likely to actually, when your energy is open. If you ever notice this with you, when you go through life in general, when your energy is open, when your mind is open, then you'll be able to see different opportunities. Then you'll be able to see where you will be able to receive support, and when you will be able to change things, and then you'll be able to even do them with fun. If you have and you're having adventure, right? If you can see in here, we were having fun. Both of us having. I'm gonna move over a little bit. Both of us has our thumbs up there, and so yes, you are falling from the sky. You can see this as you're falling from the sky, right? We really was we jump off the plane, and gravity was working very well during this time, and we were going whoa. And depending on how you see it, you could be like, I'm gonna go down and crash. Or this could be the most wonderful 2 thumbs up awesome adventure, because everything is an adventure. And when you have fun, when you're adventurous, it's easier for you to allow yourself to have fun, even when you feel like a falling from the sky. And when you do that, when you're having fun translates to joy a lot of the time. And joy is where the universe vibrates at the highest level, and where the universe, life in general, moves. And when you are able to do that, when you allow, yes, you want to have plan, but at the same time, allow yourself to adjust the way I adjusted when I went through school to accomplish my childhood dream. At some point in graduate school, I had difficulty with certain classes, and one way or the other, we ended up adjusting my program altogether. We adjust the program, turn it upside down and inside out, and thank goodness for the magnificent, at that time, dean of students, who's very helpful. They're like, okay, this will be easier, and this and this and this and this and this. Because why? Because I wasn't doing well in one of the class. It was just a bit much physically and some other reasons for me. And so we adjust, we adapt everything. Had I not adapt, had I just like going charging along, then I might have not passed that level actually. And in better in graduate school, in that school, if you don't pass something, they kick you out. And so thank goodness for adjusting. Thank goodness for adapting. And when you adapt that, when you adapt to something, see it as a new adventure. It's just everybody has a different journey. Everybody has a different path. Did anybody else did the adjustment of the program the way I did? No, nobody. And you can see it. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing as well as I could have been, and I wish I have done this way, and now I feel like a failure or this and that. Or you could say, well, this just doesn't work for me this way, and therefore I'm going to adjust that and just make it a new adventure. Learn to do something else alongside. Actually, it's like me adapting my program allowed me to work in high security state lab, which was kind of fun and different. I didn't expect to have that happen. It was a new adventure, an extra adventure, in addition to going to school and becoming a doctor. And so what in what way could you be more adventurous? In what way could you be more adventurous and add fun into your life? Allowing things, as in what way could you allow things to be more fun, even as they are happening, and even as they are happening in the way that perhaps you don't particularly invite it as to happen, but in what way could you see it differently? In what way could you say, okay, if I were a little, shake it off, a little more adventurous and a bit more flexible, how could I see this? How could I see this differently? And therefore, how could I look at this now that I see it differently? Could I see this as an opportunity? Could I see this as a different adventure? And share in the comment below if there is something in your life that you are to adapt. And sometimes it's something as little as you have a lunch plan or a dinner plan, and then it didn't work out. And some of us, you might have ever have this happen where even something like that caused you to stress out. And if that happened, then it will naturally affect your energy. How you do anything is how you do everything, because your energy comes from one source, which is the inside of you, the inside of your heart, and the inside of your mind. Or you can say, well, okay, this dinner plan or this lunch plan did not work out. So what else, what different fun thing could I do instead? That something actually happened today with me. I had a lunch plan and then it got rescheduled. And I said, okay, well, what different thing could I do today? Let's just actually still take a moment for lunch and go and sit by the water at the lake nearby here. And it was wonderful and fun as well. And so what adaptations can you do? In what way can you be more adventurous and allowing naturally more flexibility and having fun while adapting? And when you do that, you allow the main source of you, which is your energy, to continue to be at a level that high and allowing things to flow easily. Please share them in the comment below if you'd like to, in what way you can be more adventurous and adapting. Perhaps it is the way you see things, not necessarily the way you do things. And then feel welcome to share in the comment below if you have a project that you're endeavoring. If you'd love some support, feel welcome to reach out to me, message me directly, and feel welcome to share your feedback in the comment below, and or sharing these videos with anyone you'd love to. And this is Birgit with Joyful Riches Beyond Grief. I see that as you practice these tools and tips that I share with you, you actually practice them, you welcome more ease, more joy, and accomplishing with things that you would love with so much more ease and fun and speed compared than if you don't do that, and have creating a beautiful, wonderful, thriving life one day at a time, and a magnificent, beautiful, thriving life as a whole. And I love you very, very much, and I look forward to see you again very, very soon.